Live. We're live.
We didn't even count it down.
I know.
You guys jumped in here without us being ready for you, but welcome back. Another session of Three Ball Walk. Eddie, Bob, Julio, here to talk about the national pastime and just have some fun. A lot of college baseball this last weekend with the Super Regionals. Things happen in the big leagues. The season's getting going. What hit you about the sport of baseball this week?
Well, I told Bob the other day, we were talking, that I would have another bat flip story for you.
Yes.
The bat flip in the college Super Regionals, Miami, Boston College.
That was a walk-off.
It was not a walk-off. It was in the 7th inning. It was not a walk-off.
Yep, you're right.
It was a grand slam, and the kid had 7 RBIs on the day, so he had a career. But it wasn't the first time he's done that. Hold the bat.
That was the guy halfway down the line.
Halfway down the line before, and then he flips the bat, and then keeps his right arm up all the way around and comes to home plate. And the Boston College catcher took a little umbrage with that, said something to him, and he gave the old point to Miami and an expletive U to Boston College. It's all about the U. And then the benches kind of emptied, and no punches were thrown. It's college, you know.
Right.
So nobody's going to throw a punch there at that point. But, it's just that continuation of the thing that you like in baseball. You like it. You like the let's have some flair.
Will start. No, I'm not. It's going to happen. It's going to wind up happening. That's the world we live in today, the athlete we live in today, whether it's a basketball player, a football player, and baseball does not allow you to express yourself.
What I wish would have happened was I wish the Boston College catcher wouldn't have let him got to home plate and just decked him halfway between third and home with his right arm up.
The ball breaks out.
And then it breaks out.
But the pitcher can do that after a strike.
I agree.
See?
I agree. We talked about that. Florida pitchers did some of those things. If it's the 7th inning and a game.
This was in the first inning.
I know, but if it's a 7th inning game and you're 1 run up and you got the bases loaded and 1 out and you strike out the first guy and you strike out 2 guys in a row to get out of the inning, and that's the game that's the deciding game. Okay, a little bit of emotion there at that point is okay. If you hit a walk off, I think that's okay. But in the 7th inning, you hit a grand slam, throw the bat, go around the bases, celebrate with your teammates when you get back in the dugout.
I'll tell you what,
and
something that on that one thought is, if I strike out with the bases loaded to end the first inning, okay, and I am more concerned about what the pitcher is doing than why the heck I just took strike 3 on the inside corner, I've got problems. I'm not focusing, and the pitcher just accomplished something by taking me out of completely trying to reestablish myself as far as what I need to do.
It is, but there again, that's what I'm saying. He hit a home run in the first inning. I thought Florida's guys. I obviously watched more of those games than any of the other games. I thought their guys handled it pretty well with hitting home runs, throwing the bat down, running around. It's okay to have a little bit of emotion.
Logan Shore.
Logan Shore was a little over the top. He shoved it though. He backed it up.
He did, and that's the whole thing. I was not a big Pete Rose fan. And my dad once told me, if you can back up what you're saying, you can say whatever you want to say.
Well, Dizzy Dean once famously said that it ain't bragging if you can back it up. So,
what about your story? Here it is, the whole week, all that happened, and a bat flip's his biggest story. Yours, Bob?
My story is building because I'm looking forward to the trade deadline and what the Braves might do as far as dealing off.
You told me yesterday that you quit on the Braves.
I didn't quit the Braves. I'm a Braves fan. I'm frustrated because they what's the word I'm looking for?
They suck.
Okay, but I'm still a Braves fan. Grilly, it's.
Is he related to me?
Grilly, he's gone. They got rid of Grilly.
Jason Grilly.
But what will the fire sale be for Atlanta? And another team that I think that in the majors, and I know we're talking more about the College World Series, but Milwaukee, are they going to deal some guys? Braun will be gone, possibly, and I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head I'm thinking of, but a couple of trades. So I'm looking forward. We're getting to the middle of June, start seeing some guys. But hopefully, I think this year the trade deadline is going to be better than it's been in a long time.
Who's a player and who's going to be a player?
Who's in and who's out? Exactly.
That's interesting. I'll tell you something today, and I don't know if you just saw it. It came across about an hour ago, and you talk about you sign a big free agent, and this is going to be, we're going to build off this, and this is the big thing. One of the big off-season moves, the Colorado Rockies replaced Tulowitzki with a big signing, right?
Oh, I thought they replaced Tulowitzki with Story.
They have.
Yeah.
But who did they replace him with?
I don't know.
Who?
Reyes.
Jose Reyes. What did they do today?
I didn't see the sports yet.
Jose Reyes is off his suspension. It is over.
They reassigned.
He has been released.
Just
Assigned
totally released.
Well, he's been
designated
for assignment, which is basically any team can pick up his
Carl
contract. now.
Crawford too. I mean, he's
That's right.
But this is a guy that never played.
Never played, right?
Have you ever had a free agent? You sign him and he never plays
They
for
will play
you,
1 inning. That's amazing.
Well, here you know why.
and never was injured
You know why? Well, he was suspended, right?
for beating his girlfriend. Or his,
Okay, so he still was suspended.
Yeah, he was suspended. But I'm just saying,
Right.
you sign a free agent and you did not get one at bat
Nope.
out of him.
Right. Did they have to pay him all those months? Why he's
He
suspended?
No, he was suspended without. Now they're paying him.
So-
now they're paying him for
So now they're paying him, and now they're wanting to get rid of him
hoping
because
someone picks up that contract.
because they have Story, who's a better shortstop and doesn't have the baggage that comes
Completely.
along with that. So
But that's shocking to me that you wouldn't pick him up and at least try to. Well, I guess they have been trying to trade him for the last.
I'm sure that there have been behind the scenes
And
trade talk.
one-
Nobody wants him,
Nobody wants him.
No.
so you're just stuck.
I had a hard time with Jose Reyes when he sat out that game to win the batting title a couple years ago. Ted Williams didn't set out to hit 400. I mean, I know he got a big bonus in his contract if he was the batting title leader, but I lost respect for Jose Reyes then completely.
You got to play. You got to play.
You got to play.
Hey, how about the draft?
The draft,
Who told you? Who told? Who in
That
this
they're
group?
going for a hitter?
Who
The
in this
Phillies?
group told you the Phillies going to take a bat? Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Eddie Gilly.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And Puck made it to the 6th.
And Puck was the first college pitcher drafted, but not the first high school player drafted.
Not
And
pitcher.
still, I'm not sure that's a good deal after this weekend. I mean,
There's a lot of questions.
there's a lot of question marks there about what's going to happen with him. And 6 Gators taken in the first
2 rounds.
40 picks, 50 picks,
Yep.
60 picks, something like that.
And Louisville as well.
Yeah.
Louisville was a stacked team this year.
It's kind of amazing how they got beat. How you get beat on a walk-off
Walk-off grand slam by a pinch hitter, freshman pinch hitter.
who had 1 home run in his career. Yeah, that's a moment. Where do you go from there if you're that kid?
No, I mean-
if you're that kid, how do you ever top that?
See, and unfortunately, I mean, I know ESPN is the PR department for the NFL and all that kind of stuff. But if that's not one of the top 3 or 4 moments in sports this year,
Yeah.
but not enough people. I mean, you're down 3-0, 1 out from going home, and now you're going to the College World Series because that kid. I put it. Obviously, it's not winning, but when I forget the guy, the second baseman for LSU, when he beat Miami with the walk off.
Oh, I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember the moment.
Played in the big leagues. He's an ESPN broadcaster now.
Well, they will know. We'll get our
Yeah.
crack research team on that.
Yeah.
You guys come up with that real quick. And that was I remember watching that home run live. And Miami took the lead in the top of the 9th and went ballistic. And then
Yep.
he comes in and hits the walk-off in the bottom. And that's what I compare it to. I mean, 3-0. And they were the only thing I don't know, and I will go and me with stats and everything like that. Did they bring in the closer, or was that the guy that had?
Oh,
the
that was their
2-hit?
closer.
So the guy that had the 2-hit shutout for 8 innings, they pulled him.
Yes. But they put this guy in who is.
Oh no, he's
had
all
lost
world.
the lead.
But again,
Throws the ball
that's
100 miles an hour.
That's Logan Shore. Although that game was 5-0, not 3-0.
Yeah.
But Logan Shore goes 8 innings, 2-hit ball, and you pull him.
Well, he walked the first guy in the 9th. He went back out for
Did
the
let him
9th.
go back out. You're
Yeah,
right.
he went out for the 9th.
But
I think
this guy,
Southern
they
wanted-
pulled. They pulled him right out of the bat, 3-0, 2-hitter,
Yeah.
and Louisville pulled him.
But that's something as a fan that I just always question is you got a guy who's on and you play the numbers game and you pull a guy who's hot. I still
Well, and a lot of that isn't the numbers game. A lot of that is this guy's one
Or
of the top
book.
2 reliever.
Right.
No, it's you have more confidence to let. Hey, I
This
will
guy
tell you
get 3 outs.
the first 24 outs are a lot easier than the last. 3.
absolutely.
And there's
still,
people that can get those last 3 outs.
right.
And there's, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but
everybody
it
says
came
that.
back
But
to-
every out, if you score 9 runs in the first inning, it doesn't really matter what you do in the ninth.
You're right.
So
it's a lot easier to get those out. But,
every inning.
But I'll tell you, and I'm watching the Marlins the other day, is when their closer, who's I think tied for the NL lead in saves, when he's saved 2 games in a row, and they got to find someone just to close out a game, he can't. Now that guy, and his name in the 8th inning, he's outstanding. Twice last week they gave him the ball in the 9th, and he couldn't close out either game. And I just think
That's mental.
But I think that's across the board. That's a hard thing to do.
But it's just mental.
But a starter, I think Logan Shore walked that guy because he was tired. Not because all of a sudden he started tightening
let's be honest.
He's starting to tighten up.
And I'll probably get in trouble with this. And people, if you want to write in, you can write in like everybody else had talked about on my Facebook feed. The umpiring for the Super Regionals in Gainesville was horrendous. It was horrible both ways every night. The Friday night or Saturday night guy was horribly slanted toward the strike zone for the Florida State pitcher. I'm not saying that he was for Florida State. I'm just saying his strike zone fit the Florida State pitcher, and that's why there's a shutout. The Saturday guy was definitely slanted toward Logan Shore's strike zone.
That drop down and away was a strike.
Right, it was a strike every time. Low and away was a strike every time. And the Monday night guy
was both ways
brutal. I mean, how in the world does a guy get that gig in the Super Regionals? I mean,
you want to know what upset me, and I don't know if you noticed it, is I don't think every now and then you see this happen. I've never seen it happen 3 times in one game and 4 or 5 times over a series where a pitcher in the middle of his windup, the umpire calls
time.
Yep. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
It happened all the time.
Well, Coach Cardieri at USF used to have a famous thing to stop that. Whenever opposing teams would do that and the umpire would give it.
You can do it, but if the guy started, the umpire doesn't have to give it.
No, he doesn't. But if the umpire, if they did that and they would give them, he would tell the pitchers it was called a hold hit. And you intentionally wanted the guy to call timeout. And then you just uncorked one in his rib cage. Because it's a dead ball. Once the umpire calls, you wait until you wait. You go into motion, he calls timeout.
But as a hitter,
you go ahead through your motion and throw the ball right in his rib cage. And that'll stop that crap. You don't do that.
Right, but as a hitter, but here's the whole point a lot of times, and I don't know. And that's why, you can say that, but it's not always. You're there, and you're like, time, and you don't look at him. You can't look at the umpire, you know that. And you're calling time. And then finally, when the guy starts to wind up, I know I didn't get time. Now, that's the umpire's fault. That's not the hitter asking time. You don't know if he's been asking for time for...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the whole thing is the college baseball rules were set a few years ago to encourage increased play. And so the umpires are not supposed to be given... Yes.
No, I agree with you, but I have never seen
They're not supposed to be given timeouts anyway. Once you
These
get in the
guys
box,
are getting out of the box. Every pitch walking halfway to the third base coach, walking back. I mean... And then, I don't want to make this an anthem, but the human rain delay.
Oh, he was slow, wasn't he?
He was slow. Always has been. It's not because he's 90 years old.
No, he's always been that way. When he was young, he was that way.
And he waits until, okay, now's the time you go out there. No, we'll wait. We'll announce the hitter. Let him get in the box. The pitcher's on the rubber.
And then wait till the catcher comes out. Catcher's got to go out first and talk to him. Then get all the way back, get down in their squad.
Get down, give us, then he starts walking.
Then he walks out. Yeah, that's Coach Martin. Hey, when we come back after the break, I want to talk to you about something I heard last night with your Marlins. I just happened to turn on the Marlins game for a moment, and I want to get your opinion on...
I fell asleep.
Something that they said last night.
I was by myself, family away at youth camp, whether they're youths or whether they're chaperones, my wife. Just me at home alone. Hey, Marlins on, Padres at 10:30. I'll stay up until 1 in the morning watching. I was asleep at 9:30.
You were getting it. And I know, my friend.
I saw they won 5-2.
Oh, I didn't even see the end of it. I didn't see the end of it. I didn't stay awake. Hey, so you guys make sure you find us on Facebook down here. Send us a message. Say hi. Send us any kind of quotes you want to. Make sure you check out our 3-ball walk every day on Facebook. Bob posts something on there. Does a great job with that. So make some comments there on that. And remember, it's been a tough week for everybody here in Florida, but there's always baseball and there's always another day, and God's always good. So send us a message if you can, play some ball if you can, and watch baseball if you can. See ya.